all, welcome to Ranjana's Academy. Today I'm going to take the chapter Solutions. So in this video I'll be discussing introduction, binary solutions and concentration terms. Let's get started. What is the introduction here you're going to see is what is the definition of a solution? A solution is a mixture of two or more than one pure substance. What is a binary solution? Binary solution is where you have two components, or it is called as two component system, where you have a solute and a solvent. So when solute is added to solvent, you get the solution. Okay. Now let us understand what are the types of solutions. Based on the physical state of components, we have different types of solutions, starting from gaseous, liquid and solid solutions. So depending upon the solid phase, we determine this. Okay. So if this is gaseous state solvent is present, the type of solution is also gaseous solutions. Likewise, you have the examples for the same. Concentration terms. Concentration terms, totally you have 7. So first one is mass percentage. This is actually the mass of component in solution divided by the total mass of the solution into 100. Since this is percentage, it involves 100. Okay. So what is volume percentage? Here you have the volume of the given component divided by the total volume of the solution into 100. And what is mass of volume percentage? You have the mass of solute divided by the volume of the solution, entire solution, into 100. Okay. And what is mole fraction? Number of moles of the component divided by total number of moles of all component. Over here, this is not percentage, so you will not have 100. This is a fractional value, and you have to understand, since this is one component divided by the total number, if you add the mole fractions of all the components present in the solution, what you will get? 1 as your result. So if you some questions how you will get is, they'll give you what is the mole fraction of A and they'll ask you what is the mole fraction of B. Okay, so simply you have to subtract from 1. This is the simple logic. Okay, now let us understand what is molarity. Molarity is a temperature dependent constant. Why? Because it depends upon the volume. It is expressed by capital M. Okay, so the number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution is called as molarity. In other words, if this is given in ml, that is your volume of solution is given in milliliters, this is your solution, n into 1000 by V. Now what is molality? This is temperature independent because it depends upon the mass of solvent. Here it is solute by solvent, don't get confused, not solution. Mass of number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg. Okay, so the unit for this is molar, which is denoted by small m. Now what is parts per million? Million is something which is 10 to the power to 6. Okay, so what is this? This is actually a minute quantity. How do you calculate this? What is the formula of this? Is number of parts of component divided by total number of parts of all components in the solution into 10 to the power of 6. Okay, try yourself question, do this. If you get the answer, post it in the comment section. Molality is given for you and the formula is also given for you as a clue or a hint. Take a screenshot and try out, work it out and post the answers. So this is sodium acetate. Molar mass is also mentioned here. Now another one question is also there for you. Take a screenshot of this and try this out. These are all standard questions, so please do give it a try. Now let us see what is solubility. What is solubility? Maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in specified amount of solvent. See, I am taking one glass of water. I am adding salt. Continuously I am stirring it. I had so much of salt, but at one point, how much ever I try to dissolve it, the salt will not get dissolved. It will get settled down. So at that stage, it has reached its maximum amount of solubility. So maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a specified amount of solvent is called as solubility. Now, it depends upon nature of solute and solvent, temperature and pressure. These two are very important. That is nature of the solute and the solvent, and then temperature and pressure. Now, let us understand solubility of two different types of liquids. So that is solid in a liquid and gas in a liquid. For solid in a liquid, you know one statement which is very, very, very famous, that is polar solute dissolves in polar solvent, right? Likewise, it is applicable same for the non-polar also. Non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. Example is NaCl in water, naphthalene and anthracene in benzene. So this is an example for polar and this is an example for non-polar, right? Solubility of solid and liquid is usually temperature dependent. Okay, so when it is endothermic, solubility increases as the temperature increases. Exothermic means solubility decreases as the temperature increases. Both the places temperature are increasing, but depending upon the reactions, you have to see which is increasing and decreasing. So this is not dependent upon pressure. One important point. Okay. Right. So intermolecular interactions is the same for solute and solvent. Now let us see that for a gas in liquid. Many gases dissolve in water. You are very familiar for this. But you know that oxygen is only dissolvable up to a small extent. Actually, this solubility of gas in liquid depends upon both the temperature and the pressure. Okay, so let us see how they affect the solubility. Based upon the effect of pressure, we have a separate law which is formulated. This is one of the easiest and simplest laws, that is Henry's law. The partial pressure of gas in vapor phase is proportional to mole fraction of the gas in the solution. So this is given by mole fractions into kH. kH is Henry's constant, this is mole fraction of gas, and this is partial pressure of gas. So when kH increases, solubility decreases. Now let us understand what is the effect of temperature. The effect of temperature is when temperature increases, kH also increases, which means that pressure is directly proportional to solubility and temperature is inversely proportional to solubility, and this is applicable only in the case of gas in liquid. And one special point you have to note is that what is your transition temperature? The temperature at which one form of substance changes into another is called as your transition temperature. Fine. Now let us understand what is the applications of Henry's law in our day-to-day life. Carbon dioxide sealing and packaging in soft drinks. It is under high pressure. Okay. Yes, at high altitudes, if you see, the partial pressure of oxygen is less than that of ground level. So as the people who are living in the hilly areas will have low concentration of blood in their tissues. So what happens as a case? Low concentration of blood in tissues will lead to low blood oxygen level, which leads to a condition called as anoxia. What is anoxia? This is a condition where the blood is not getting sufficient amount of oxygen. To avoid bends in scuba divers, air is diluted with helium. So these are all the practical applications of Henry's law. Carbon dioxide is dissolved in water, which means that gas is dissolved in a liquid, and you know the key points for this is when temperature decreases, solubility increases, and pressure increases, solubility increases. That's it. With this you can solve the entire question. Okay, they'll give you as room temperature. You have to identify that is 298 Kelvin. Okay, kH will be given in the question. Pressure of carbon dioxide will be given in the question. So they will ask you what is molarity. You're going to substitute the values in order to get your molarity. So that is it. Yes, so I'll give you one more small example, that is argon gas. Again, they have given you these two and they have asked you to find molarity. Sometimes after finding molarity alone, the question will not stop. They'll ask you to find molality. This is one special formula for it. Note it down. Okay, molarity of the compound divided by 1 minus molarity of that particular compound into 1000 by mass of that compound. So you have to understand this. You have to substitute the values to find the molarity. Now there is one simplest question, but you have to understand there is one point which you have to cross, that is STP condition. What is STP condition, students? Many of the students don't know this actually. When the temperature is room temperature and the pressure is 10 to the power of 5 pascals or 1 bar pressure, it is called as STP, which is standard temperature and pressure. Okay, so the temperature is going to be the room temperature and pressure is going to be 10 to the power of 5 pascals or 1 bar pressure. So when they give you, automatically you are supposed to substitute 1 over here. Is it understood? Because pressure is that. Now molarity is given for you. Is the formula which you have to use to find out your kH value, Henry's constant. I hope this entire session was very clear for you. Thank you for attending with complete patience. If you had understood what I have taken for you today, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.